Inquiry-based learning is a constructivist educational theory. Inquiry-based learning typically begins with an observable phenomenon that gains the learner's attention. The student then uses their own personal knowledge of science to investigate the phenomena. Students are actively involved in this learning environment and are able to add on to their prior knowledge of science. The teacher takes on the role of facilitator and guide during inquiry-based learning. Research studies have shown that inquiry-based learning helps students develop a deeper understanding of the scientific concepts when their knowledge is considered as they integrate new knowledge. In the early 20th century, science education was a passive learning model. Information was presented to students as a series of facts, and the teacher performed and delivered the material. The learner's role was to listen, memorize, and then take a test to show mastery of key information. Labs were very structured and rigid in their expectations. In 1916, an inquiry-based approach to science education was proposed by John Dewey. Over the last 100 years, the way that science is taught has slowly evolved into a more active learning environment. The use of inquiry-based instruction has not been embraced by many science educators because they have not been given the guidance on how to teach in this manner. Science teachers who implement inquiry-based learning often note that it requires longer learning time because each student brings their own perspectives, current explanations, abilities, and prior knowledge to the investigation. Recently, the National Science Teachers Association has introduced the Next Generation Science Standards. These standards are heavily based on the principles of inquiry-based learning. The Next Generation Science Standards include performance expectations that require students to develop an evidence-based explanation for a phenomenon or to provide a model that provides a causal mechanism for explaining the phenomenon. Using inquiry-based instruction techniques, students will be able to demonstrate a deeper understanding of scientific principles. The National Science Teacher Association has been working towards training educators on how to facilitate inquiry-based learning in hopes that it will become more widely accepted.